So I'm back again with another theatre trip vlog. I know I said I wouldn't be doing one for a while, but I'm just on my internship and the offices are literally on Oxford Street. So the theatres are maybe a 2-minute walk away. So I'm off to see The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It closes in June, so I wasn't sure if I'd be able to see it again. So I'm being a bit spontaneous tonight. I'm just gonna go see it. Treat yourself, eh? So unfortunately my phone died on the night, so I wasn't able to vlog as much of the evening as I wanted to. But anyways, I'm here tonight to give my review of the show. So The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime is an adaptation of a book by Mark Haddon. It has the same name. It's also called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. And the adaptation was done by Simon Stevens, and I'd read the book before, but I must have read it in secondary school, so that's a really long time ago. So I knew roughly what the book was about, so I knew what I was expecting, but I didn't know the plot. So that's really exciting for me. Whenever I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, I really tend to enjoy it more. And honestly, I was absolutely blown away. I've been sort of putting off doing this review because I just really wanted to do the play justice. It was absolutely incredible, and I wanted to make sure I really went into the details and the nuances of what made the show so great. The play is a prime example of all facets of the theatre coming together to just create magic. In all my experience of going to the theatre, and you guys know I go a lot, I don't think I've been this impacted by a play before. I just haven't. I think the last time I was this impacted by a piece of theatre was when I went to see Memphis, and that just had me next level reactions. So yeah, so whenever I go to the theatre, I always try to look around to see the other audience people, to see if there's a specific type of audience member, and sometimes there's some shows where there's definitely a type, but when I saw The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, there really wasn't a type. There was such a diverse audience. There were young people, there were old people, there were family. I think because I saw in half term there were a few school trips there as well. There wasn't a standard age or type of people. So I think it's a show that anyone could really enjoy, which is just a testament to how great the play is. I think anyone, literally anyone, could find something that they enjoyed in the play. So if you haven't read the book, I really don't want to spoil it for you, so there will be no spoilers in this vlog as per usual. But the play is about a 15-year-old boy called Christopher Boone, and I'll describe it as sort of a coming of age play. Christopher Boone he has Asperger's syndrome, which is on the spectrum of autism, and he finds a dead dog in the field of his neighbour, and the play is just about him trying to figure out who killed the dog, which is it's pretty self-explanatory in the title, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. That's why it's called that. Yeah, and it's him being an amateur detective, and then he's just navigating through life, and then through that lots of other things emerge. So that's probably the vaguest description you'll ever hear, but I really don't want to spoil it. Whilst it's generally accepted that Christopher has Asperger's syndrome, Mark Haddon, who wrote the book, doesn't like the fact it says Asperger's syndrome on the title. According to him, he would prefer that Christopher was described as someone who has behavioural problems. So in my head, I just see Chris as a 15-year-old boy who's especially gifted at maths, who's not very well equipped to deal with life and social situations. And yeah, so I don't really think the label is as important, so you can just enjoy it if you either way, whether you see him as having Asperger's syndrome or not. So what was really amazing about the play was the way that Christopher, brilliantly played by Joseph Ayer, was able to amazingly depict and demonstrate the inner workings of his mind. It was absolutely amazing. You could just really see why he did certain things, how he thought. You could just really empathize with him. And I think it would have been really easy to play Christopher in a really two-dimensional way and make it a caricature of someone with Asperger's syndrome. But Joseph Ayres' depiction of it was really three-dimensional, and it really conveyed the nuances of the character, and I just thought it was amazing. As an audience member, you were really able to connect with him. You were willing for him to have a happy ending. Even when he was doing things you might not understand, you were able to see why he did it, and that was what I thought was truly impressive. So, this is the programme, and let me just show you some of the cast. So, as you can see, it was a relatively small cast, and I got to see Joseph Ayres as Christopher Boone. He's the main character, and I thought the actual hidden gem of the show was Siobhan, and she was Christopher's school teacher who often doubled up as the narrator of the play, and she was played by Jo Castleton. And she was absolutely incredible. The sound of her voice was just amazing. She had such beautiful diction and clarity, and the tone of her voice was just like a hug on a cold and rainy day. It was amazing. So this is some of the rehearsal shots of the cast, just to see what everyone looks like. Although I'm not sure this is the cast I saw, but this is the biographies of everyone that I did see. And apart from Jo Castleton, who played Siobhan, the people who played his mum and dad as well were amazing, because I think it's so often when you have children with behavioural problems, it's so difficult to be their parent, especially like there were parts where he didn't like to be touched, and it's just they were able to convey the trials of that brilliantly. They were absolutely great. And I'm always talking about how amazing and talented production team members are, and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime really encapsulated this. Like, the production team played such a pivotal role in the production. Like, the technical team all came together to put on what was an imaginative yet realistic looking show, which I just don't know how they did it. So the technical team, I mean, like the lighting, the design, the sound, the videos, all those things were really important in making The Curious Incident the show that it really was. And Bunny Christie did all the design for that, and she was amazing. The set was incredible. So this is a souvenir brochure, and I just want to show you the creative team so you know who they were. So Marion Elliott was the director, and this are the rest of the creators of the show. Just so you know how incredible they were, so you know their names. If they are in another production, go see it, because I'm sure the set and lighting will blow you away in whatever they do in the future as well. And I need to find the scene. Yep, this is the set. So the set was this amazing and versatile black box, and there was this use of really clever projections to show different locations and key images. Bunny Christie's design was just awe-inspiring. The stage was formed of these huge mathematic grids, and they were flaring with life at every turn. It transformed from maps to cities to trains to constellations. And it really allowed the audience an unparalleled insight into the wondrous workings of Christopher Boone's mind. It was amazing. Let me just show you some more pictures. Yeah, so this was when he was going to London, and then you can just see the projections that they used to depict this. This was the escalator, and this just seriously impressed me. Sometimes in productions you'll just get haze or an explosion just for the sake of having it. But in Curious Incident, nothing was meaningless. Everything was done for a reason. Everything just facilitated a greater understanding of Christopher's mind, and I just thought that was incredible. It just allowed you to see the way Christopher saw the world, and Yeah, and also the movement was amazing as well. It just really conveyed like the wonders of the human body. The things they were doing were just so seamless, and it blew me away. And in terms of physicality, I don't think I've seen a play as good. I don't usually like physical theatre. I prefer more naturalistic stuff or musical theatre, but the physicality was amazing. And there was a lot of multi-rolling, which y'all know I don't like, but in this, I think I may need to change my view on multi-rolling, because as in Book of Mormon last week and in this show, the multi-rolling was really good. It was really seamless. It really flowed really well. Even though there was a really tight-knit cast, there must have been about, I think there were 16 people. I think I counted this time. There were 16 cast members, and they were all on stage pretty much at the same time. But it was really dynamic, and the movement really added to this. For me, the scene where everything came together, the movement, the direction, all the technical elements, was in the scene where Christopher goes to London, and you can see the inner workings of his mind as he tries to navigate the London tube system. And just for that scene alone, it is worth going to see the production just for that one scene alone. That just shows how good the production is. And these are just some more pictures of the set and the stage and the characters, just so you can understand how amazing it was. And yeah, this is a better view of the stage. So it was a bit like a game box. Reminded me of like a game, and it was amazing. So this is such a poignant moment. Christopher doesn't like being touched, but he will put his hand out to you so you can touch his fingertips, and it's just so moving. So whilst there were definitely lots of humorous moments in the production, there was definitely a lot of emotional and touching elements to it. So overall, the production was amazing. I'll definitely give it 2 big thumbs up. It was a 10 out of 10 production, and yeah, I can't rave about it enough. The only one improvement would probably be to perhaps increase the mics of the actors. Because it was a play, it's really important to hear everything they were saying. And although I could hear, I also had very good seats. So I'm not sure how good you would have been able to hear if you were right at the back. So that's just one technical element which I thought could be improved upon. But apart from that, there's nothing I think could have been done to make the production better. It was amazing. I actually would love to go see it again, because I was just so blown away the whole time that the whole show I just had my mouth open and my eyes were transfixed on the stage. So I'd love to see it again, just so I can take in more and more of the intricacies. It was just such a multi-layered production that I'm sure there must have been something I missed. I'd love to see it again. So I would definitely encourage all of you to go see it. It's definitely a very accessible play. It's very good if you've not been to the theatre before, or even if you have, it's just very different to the sort of musical theatre that I usually watch. And is there anything else I can say? Yeah, I think that's about it. It's just an amazing production. So yeah, 10 out of 10 show. Go and see it. So next week I will be going to see an opera, so slightly moving further and further out of the usual musical theatre vlogs I've been doing so far. So that'll be super exciting. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week.